You having a good day today? Oh, I just listened to a song that it was a tough one to listen to because it brought up a few things actually. Uh, yeah, I've told you a bit about this lady that I like in this filling station I go to, and yeah, what I never told you was that after I noticed her, things got interesting. Even though I hadn't spoken to this lady, even though there'd been no words of love shared or intention of love, even though there was no confirmation at all. There still isn't that this lady is supposed to be the one I should be with. I felt pain when I thought about the possibility of me hurting her. Ever. I felt pain. Real pain. And that was unusual, to say the least. Part of that is about something I've spoken about before, maybe not in these videos. I've certainly spoken to people about this. And that is, if you are single, start living as if you are with that one that God has for you. Start allowing your or having your decisions to be as if you were with that person. So if any lustful thinking occurs, don't act on it. Because would you, if you're with that person? How would you respond to any lustful thinking? If you're with that individual, would you rebuke that thought or would you take it? Well, most likely you would rebuke it. You would have no part in it whatsoever. You wouldn't want any. So rebuke such things. Start making yourself into the person you want to be for that wife or husband that you're praying to God for. Because the last thing you want is when you get that person for you to not be ready and for you to cause that person pain. The song that I just listened to is Love Really Hurts Without You by Billy Ocean. And one has to say, yeah, it does. It does. Any feeling of love, like if I'm watching something and it's lovely, yeah. I've seen a few things that were quite nice recently on YouTube that were nice, and I've had emotions that were nice and loving. And whenever I do, I want to share it, but I want to share it with her. The fact I can't is painful. So even though there's been no profession of love, and to be honest, I'll be completely clear on the situation. I cannot say for any degree of certainty whatsoever that the woman who is on my mind as the person that I think is the one is. I have no idea. I mean, she could easily be married. I mean, saying that, I've seen her spend a lot of time with a gentleman around about her age. So it's quite likely that she is married, in which case, you know, there's nothing there at all, and there will never be anything there at all. But there may be somebody, and in the end, the way I look at this lady is, if she's not the one, is nothing compared to the way I will look at the one who is the one. So that's fine. I don't mind that. I mean, in a way, it could be considered as practice, which is fine. Yeah, but yeah, if you're single, then speak to God about the person that you want, about the characteristics that are important to you about that person, or even as a way of testing. Put down the number of things that are, that you want this person to have. Pray about it with God first. You'll get a number of the things that really matter to you. Because don't just go with head. Don't just go with thinking, oh, actually, let's say that for me, I would say, okay, I'm about 5'8" ish. So if she's about 5'6", that would be perfect. So I'll say she has to be 5'6". No. Is that a characteristic that really matters? No, not really. It's one of the characteristics for me is that she will have a wonderful smile, and her smile will brighten up people's lives, and she will be the essence of love. So out of her will be love, and she will be an incredibly loving woman, not just to me but to others. That people will be blessed by her loving nature. I mean, that to me is one of the most important factors. And I know with the lady that I've noticed, I heard her sing, and she can sing. And when I heard her sing, wow, okay. When I've seen her worship, it's like, wow, okay, that's yeah, fantastic, spot on. I couldn't say anything to her about her worship to improve it. It's like, well, okay, that's good. You could certainly teach me a few things in that area, no doubt about that whatsoever. She's friendly with people. All age groups seem to love her. She has that wonderful smile. So, but as I say, that doesn't mean that she is the one. I suppose that's why I noticed her, because those points were there. So I could go into more detail, but I'm not going to, because again, it's not right. Because if either she or someone who knows her listens to this video, then and she is married, or even if she isn't, if she's not supposed to be the one for me, then really it's better that complications aren't made, because I don't want her thinking that I'm going to make some sort of move on her, because I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't be right. And as I said, it's very much a case that if God spoke to her and said, yeah, you need to, he's going to be the person you're supposed to be with. He's going to be your husband. And if she comes and says that to me, I'm going to tell her that we both need to test this. We both need to make sure that this is God. Because if there's even a slight possibility it isn't, then we need to stay away. We shouldn't be getting involved. It wouldn't be a wise move in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, that's going to have to be tested fully. And until it is tested fully, it's not right to be giving people an idea that there's something there that maybe isn't. As I say, with me and the emotions I get, that's fine. If it's practice for the person who's going to be my wife, whether it's her or someone else, great. What matters is that I'm going to be ready. And well, I've noticed with this person, I mean, put it this way, I had a massive pain in the butt early on today. The puppy's 3 weeks old. They have been in the shower, because that's the best place for them to be. Because when they do their toilet in there, if the shower gets dirty, I can clean it easily. I can keep the area warm easily. Because of course it's got the shower door, so I can close that when they're in there on their own. And there's a heating system in there where it's one of those Dyson heaters, so it comes up to temperature when the room goes below a certain temperature. It goes on. But then this flat is a basement flat. It's a horrible flat. It really is. I mean, I think even the most positive person would struggle with depression in this place because of the fact that the ceiling height you can easily reach up. I mean, I'm not tall in any way, shape, or form, but I can easily reach up and touch the ceiling. It's that squat. When you open the front door, you've got the place above. They've got a walkway to their garden, and so of course their walkway is right opposite my front door. So it's this great big load of concrete right outside the door, which again is quite oppressive. It's a sort of lounge bedroom, then with a tiny shower toilet and a small kitchen, with a tiny bit of garden, which is okay. I mean, I've got a kennel that I built there that's got there's about 10 centimeters of insulation, and it's got a storage area above where you can get all the doggy stuff can go there. Any spare dog food that I've got that hasn't been used that can go in there, and duvets for the doggies and stuff like that can go in there, which is great. But again, it's a bit oppressive. It's a bit. Well, when I first moved in, you could see up to the next person's garden. And the person who owned the place upstairs, they built in a massive garden shed right there, right at the end of my garden. And that's standing about 6 foot tall. So now, if you look at the garden, all you can see is this massive, great big wooden shed. And you come out the front door, all you see is this great big concrete wall. So it is quite oppressive. And then today, the puppies have been in there. They're 3 weeks old, so a bit too early, really, to have them out in the kennel. The overflow system is in the shower, and for no reason whatsoever, it started pouring water all over the pups. Absolutely loads of it coming down. The bit of carpet I had in there for the pups to lay on was soaking wet. The pups are getting soaking wet, so I had to just move the pups into the kennel way earlier than really they should be. And all these things are just an absolute annoyance. And I mean, I went out afterwards and I had some time to just think, and I realised that, maybe my interest in this girl at the moment is also about that, if it's her, then we'd have to move into a different location, to a different accommodation, because in my 5 and me, we're absolutely packed in here, seriously packed. So that would mean that maybe I'd get out of here, because there's a friend of mine who's said time and time again, I need to lie, because when you make an application for a bigger, better place to live, even places that allow dogs only allow maybe 1 or 2. But because I've got 5, my friend said, well, just say you've got just 1 or just 2, move in and then just bring the rest in. I'll look after the rest for you, he said. The other 3, and then move in and I'll bring them over. They can't do anything about it once you moved in. As I said, no, I'm a Christian, I've got to be honest. But the problem is that sort of honesty, I know there's been council housing. I lost out on that because you can only have 2 pets, 2 dogs or 2 cats on council housing. So there you go, off their list. Can't be considered for any council housing. Other accommodations, I've lost probably 5 or 6 places I could have got if I'd lied, because I told the truth about the pups I had, dogs I had. And it's like, well, unfortunately, that's the situation. It's like, I was saying about the DVLA situation. I could have lied. to them. I didn't need to necessarily tell them about sleep apnea situation because I probably don't have sleep apnea. I mean, I could have been cleverer and just said, "Oh, a friend of mine has been told he has something like sleep apnea. Well, what version of that would be a problem for you?" You know, I could have phoned DVLA and asked them that, and I could have found out that it's not the version I have, and then not said anything to them because with my situation, I'm not going to have a crash in the car because I suddenly fall asleep while driving because I don't suddenly fall asleep ever. It's never happened. But that's what they're concerned about. But again, as a Christian, you've got to be honest. If I should tell the DVLA about the situation because the GP has written it down in my notes at some point, then I do that. I just have to trust that that's going to be the right thing to do. But of course, it's incredibly annoying because I was supposed to have this medical with the GP, and the date of the medical just coincided with the date and around about the time that Amber had her pups. So of course I had to focus on them, so I missed the medical. And the DVLA have told me that failure to comply is why they revoked my license. So excuse me, are we living in Russia? Failure to comply and you take away someone's right to drive? Ugh. So, incredibly irritating, to say the least. Incredibly, and it's just, as I said before, the fact that they say, "Oh, but we have a right to do this." Well, just because you have the right doesn't mean you should. I mean, as I said to them, I said, "Look, you could come up with some very unfortunate situation because if you're that much rules," I said, "well, the rule says." So when you face God, you come to a situation where you say, "Well, okay, I should get in because of blah 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 blah." Then God could say, "Excuse me, no. You think rules are that important, and because you could, you did." So I'm in a situation where I'm saying I could send you to hell because of your sins. So I'm going to. You don't want to be in that situation. So all this, we can do this. We have the right to do it. No. I said you're just going to annoy people every time you say things like that. Non-compliance? Choose another bit of language. What are you talking about, non-compliance? That's how you normally describe a robot that isn't behaving properly. Oh dear. So so we've got this thing again on Saturday, this Christian thing, and if I can't drive, quite likely I won't get there. Again, that's annoying because it's quite likely Monday or Tuesday, they're going to say, "Yeah, okay." Monday or Tuesday after the Saturday, they're going to say, "Yeah, okay, you can drive your car now." And I've got to wait another month before the next meeting. So these are the things that are sent to bring contest us, I think. And I had a situation with God last night, actually, when I went to bed. It was about this thing with the DVLA. And I had to tell God off to a certain degree because I'm not sure if it was God who said it, but I felt that God was saying to me previously that this DVLA situation is going to be sorted out quicker than you expect. So don't worry. That's what I felt God was saying. It's going to be sorted out quicker than you expect, so don't worry about it. I then went back to God last night and said, "Excuse me, it's quicker than I expect." So that I would expect if you are on my side and if you're going to help me to deal with this situation, it can be dealt with incredibly blinking quickly, within days. But then the day that I went for the medical with the GP said it was sent off that night. It wasn't sent off for another 4 nights. I had the appointment on the Thursday. It wasn't until the Tuesday after, Tuesday night, that it was actually sent. So, for goodness sake, Lord, come on, quicker than I expect. I was told it'd be sent off that night. Now, realistically speaking, it gets sent off. They receive it. They look at it. Okay, we've got no reason to worry. We'll say, okay, we'll just unrevoke his license. There you go. That could be done in days. So really, by the following Thursday, that can be sorted out. Quite easy. If that's sent that night, they get it Monday. So by the Thursday, there's a good chance that they'll have got to that letter, to that report, and say, okay, no reason for us to keep revoking the license. We'll unrevoke it. That may still happen because of the fact that Thursday, we're not there yet. It's only Tuesday today. Yeah, sorry, it's the 10th of the 3rd, 2020. So it's only Tuesday. So that may still happen. But as I said to God, my expectations, because a friend of mine said, oh, it could take 6 months. And I said to God, that was his expectation, not mine. Don't try and remind me that I was thinking 6 months, because that wasn't me thinking 6 months. But it may not have been God who said that it would be done quicker than what I expect. But again, we're not there. We're not Thursday yet. So, and I didn't expect initially because I think God told me this before I had the actual, did the report with the GP, which was last Thursday. No, the Thursday before last, I think, 27th. It was the 27th of February. So, there you go. It's already longer. So I thought a week. A week could be the amount of time it could take. Well, we've already gone past that. So, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So that's normal Christianity, really. Yeah. You get frustrated with situations, you go back to God about it, and you think, well, okay, if God has said that, then that was a bit wrong. So I don't understand why God would have said that when, that doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah. As I say, normal Christianity. That's what most people face on a daily basis. It's about learning. As I said, it's about learning to hear God and learning to know which voice is God, so that you can understand and you can go with those things. Sometimes we hear voices of God, and once it seems as if it's not God, well, then you've got to go to God about it and say, well, if it was you saying this, then that doesn't make sense, because my understanding would be different to that, to what has actually happened. In which case you're basically saying, okay, so that probably wasn't God that said that, and that's fine. You just, okay, that wasn't God. So, okay, let's keep praying for stuff and let's learn better about God's voice so you can get it right. It's all a learning experience. That's life. That's life as a Christian. I got a T-shirt that's brilliant, and I really wanted to go to this thing on Saturday because I brought this T-shirt to take it there because I've seen this chap with a Christian T-shirt on. I thought, I really should get one. But I want to get one that's got a sort of funny tinge to it. And I think the one I've got says something like, it's a hard life being a Christian, but the retirement plan is fantastic. So I've got that now. I want to show that off now. I've got my T-shirt. It's a nice T-shirt. It's a jokey T-shirt, but true. So it's quite likely, not certainty, still days to go. It could all sort itself out in the next couple of days. Could, yeah. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's irritating. It's like when you've got a bug flying around your head. It's just irritating. It's nothing serious. It's not a major situation. And people are starting to panic over this coronavirus now, and which again, I don't know. I don't know whether people should panic over it. I would imagine probably not, based upon the fact that the amount of people that died or flew last year, and this would be the case in most countries, would far exceed the amount of people that have died of the coronavirus. But then again, this is the beginnings of the coronavirus, so we don't know, do we? But I would say don't be overly concerned about it. There's nothing for you to be overly concerned about. Just relax and just say, okay, it is what it is. Yeah. We'll see what the situation is in time. If you're relatively healthy, no matter what your age, if you're relatively healthy, you should be okay. Don't worry. And again, you know, if you're right with God and you die and go to heaven, fantastic. Well done, coronavirus. Are we going to care? Particularly that the coronavirus has been what God uses to take us home. No. So don't stress about all this stuff, virus-wise. It's something that's high in the news right now, and the media are trying their best to cause people to panic as much as is possible. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. And one final point, and I've just understood something. Love really hurts without you is also a case that when you go away from God a bit, any form of love hurts without Him, without a good relationship with Him. Because when you have a fantastic relationship with God, and you're really, really close to God, love is going to be 10 times more wonderful, at least, if not 100,000 times more wonderful. Because once you understand that God loves you, there you go. Once you really know that God loves you, it's like, something I had a conversation with all about the other day is that, people always say, whether rightly or wrongly, that if it was just you, the Lord would have gone through everything He went through just to save you, if it was just you. And I said to God, I said, yeah, I said, that's all very nice. I said, but simply saying that and believing it are two very, very different things. But once someone gets to a point of believing that, that's amazing. That's an incredible thing to accept and believe. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I'm there, that I believe it. I mean, to a certain degree, I do. To a certain degree, yeah. So I think, yeah, if it's just for one person, will you do it? Yeah. But then it's just a case of then putting yourself as that one person. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's not a big stretch, is it? I'm saying if you believe if it's just for one person, would Yeshua go through everything He went through? Yeah. Yeah. I think He would, because, for God so loved the world, but if only one person actually said, yep, I want that, it would still be something that the Lord would have done. Yeah. Because it's not about making people choose, it's about giving people the opportunity to choose Him. That's what it's always been about. And with us, it's very much that situation. It's about giving us the opportunity to truly give our lives to Him. Not this ridiculous play, give our lives to Him, where we go in front of a church and we say, we give our lives to you, Lord, and then go back and take it all back. That's not what it's all about. We shouldn't be doing that. But if love really hurts without Him, then get right with God and focus on building a stronger, more secure relationship with God. So that when the test comes, you can stand strong. That will do for now, folks. We're coming towards a half an hour time, and I think that's enough of a mouthful for you to chew. All right. God bless. I will speak to you soon. No idea when. What about? There are other things, because I was thinking about something when I was waking up earlier and I completely forgot it. So that'll come back, and when it does, I will bring it to you. Right. You take care. God